Hey everybody, time for a brand new vlog update. I apologize if I look a little haggard. Um, I went to lay down for a minute after stuffing my face with fast food and then passed out for like an hour. It's a long day. It's a long day today. But anyway, I said I was going to vlog about the Tomb Raider reboot that I finally sat my ass down and played about a few days ago and finished just last night. So let's give my thoughts on it. First of all, I really enjoyed the hell out of it. Solid 9 out of 10 game across the board. I got it for free off of Xbox Gold a while ago. Of course, I also got it for free at one point when I had my PlayStation Plus subscription. But I had the game for several months and I had just never gotten around to play it. And part of the problem was that when you download a full game like that, it takes up so much space on your hard drive, and the hard drive space on the PlayStation 3 is pretty limited. So, yeah. And I downloaded a few other games that I never played either. I downloaded the new XCOM game on my PlayStation 3. Never played it either. You know. So, yeah. But yeah, finally got around to playing the Tomb Raider game. Had wanted to play it for a while because I'd heard nothing but good things about it. Hell, old Loading Bar with Jeff and Jason gave it a glowing review. I know Angry Joe gave it a glowing review as well. Hell, my buddy Andy, he played it and he said, "Yeah, it's really good. I really like it." And I had never played a Tomb Raider game before, so this is the first. I've heard the anniversary edition of Tomb Raider, which is the original, just redone with better graphics and better controls. I've heard that that one's good. But, and I was thinking about it, and I was talking about it with a friend of mine earlier who had also just played the game and had beaten it and got it with their Xbox Gold as well. About how, because as we all know, there are so many games these days that borrow mechanics from far better games. They don't really do anything new or interesting with them. Like, The Evil Within is a game that really comes to mind, where, first of all, it's Resident Evil reskinned, and then it takes mechanics from other more popular games. Like, it has a little bit of the stealth mechanic from The Last of Us, and a lot of its combat is very, very much just Resident Evil 4, and nothing much else. And and what made me think about Tomb Raider in a positive light is that this is a great example of a game that takes a mechanic from the Uncharted series, the whole scaling mountains and such. And granted, a lot of other games have done this too, but there is so much of it. But what's different about it is that it takes that mechanic and still does its own thing with it. I mean, when I was replaying or playing Uncharted 3, the controls in it are a little bit wonky at times. Like, if you're trying to run, it's a lot like the same thing that I have a problem with in the Assassin's Creed games, where you're trying to run and you're trying to go in a specific direction. But because the controls are so wonky, and because the run and climb button are the same button, if you're near a building and you're meaning to turn, to keep on following the path through the city, instead you'll start climbing up a wall and start climbing a building. But the controls in here are very tight, and they're very specific, for what you need, and the controls feel good in that when you, mean to instantly turn around, you do it, and when you're trying to go in different directions and trying to climb in different directions, it feels good and it feels right, and the combat is especially very good. And I like how you have the 4-weapon wheel that that unlike Uncharted, you're not just aligned to 2 weapons. Your pistol and then your machine gun, or whatever other second weapon you pick up, and then also grenades, and then all the weapon upgrades as well, to a point where it just gets utterly ridiculous, where your rifle has a grenade launcher attachment to it. I like the fact that your pistol got a silencer attachment at one point, and I loved the bow in this game especially. There have been a lot of games lately that have been utilizing the new bow. I know Far Cry 3 was probably the first one where, when you initially finally started the game, you got a bow and arrow. And I know Crysis 3 also brought in the bow and arrow thing. Of course, I never played any of the Crysis games. I heard they're good, but I just never got around to playing them. My only small complaints about Tomb Raider are, one, I wish some of the checkpoint systems were a little bit better. And I only really had this happen once, where I got to a section, and there were patrolling guards all over the place, so I killed every single one of the guards, and then got to a campfire, and then was going to move on, bumped into a few other guys, and I got killed. And then when I restarted, I had to clear out the section again. It's like, I kind of wished that when you cleared out a section, especially when you reached, a campfire and used it, that it saved. Or, in this case, I wish that, along with autosaving, that games had manual saves, as I'm sure everybody else does, because you like to have control of your own game, especially the option of saving it. It's also really kind of annoying, too, that because there is no manual save in a lot of games these days, hell, especially games from like the last couple of years or so, is that because there's no manual save and because there's an autosave, and autosaving is fine if it's, if it occurs enough, but what's always so annoying is that whenever you go to quit your game, the game has to throw up a message saying, are you sure you want to quit? Because if you do now, all your unsaved progress will be lost. Like, this is an autosave game only. Don't tell me that. Jesus. Because there's no point to it, because it's not like I can manually save. And my only other complaint is that, and this is something that I noticed all throughout the game, even up to the end, was even after Laura has gone through all of these trials and pretty much, become a warrior, a survivor, that I find it funny how, even though she's already gone beyond that point, and specifically when she's doing certain things, like when she comes upon a group of enemies, or when she's traversing areas, how she is still gasping and wincing and still has a little bit of fear in her. Like she still has a I found that a little demeaning. It's like, come on, guys. No. Why are you having her do that? It's like they're emphasizing too much. That, she's a girl. It's like, so? And let's face facts. I mean, even before, she embraces the whole being a warrior, and picking up a bow and arrow and killing to survive. Because I know the first I believe the first guy that she kills is the guy who threatens her and practically rapes her. That, I think, is like the first enemy in the game that she kills. But it's like, even before then, like, she was, taught how to survive, and obviously taught how to use weapons, and taught how to survive in harsh environments. So it's just, it starts to get a little bit annoying. And the trailer for the second game that I watched, which is probably an old trailer, but it really didn't help either. How, first of all, I don't like the title of the sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider, because first of all, Rise is, everybody knows is a word in titles that it's overused. It's been overused for the last couple of goddamn years. And it just sounds way too cliched, and it just sounds really stupid at this point, especially. And it's not that I don't like it, it's that it's stupid, the way the trailer starts off, where she's in a therapist's office, and she's talking about seemingly what she had been through in Tomb Raider. Even though at the very end of it, it seemed like she had, embraced the idea of, I am an adventurer, I am strong, I did this, I survived, I can do this, and I think I want to do more of this. Also because she just saw an incredible magical event, too. Not to spoiler that, well, it's a 2-year-old game at this point. She's seen a supernatural event, and she wants to see the rest of the world to see if she can find out more, not just about herself, but about the world as well. But actually, I am looking forward to the sequel. That was another thing, too. I was kind of curious what was going to happen with the end game, meaning how they were going to explain what was causing all the storms and everything that was keeping people trapped and that was knocking planes out of the sky and such. Like, I had wondered, are they going to go we have to really explain this, that it's a weather machine or some type of stupid thing like that? No, they actually went in and said, no, it is magic. Magic is real. The sun goddess is very pissed off that her ritual went wrong and she had no successor, and now she's rotting inside her corpse and she needs a new body. And so she keeps people trapped on this island until she's appeased. So I'm actually glad that they went there and said, yeah, there is magic in this world. So I like that as well. I think the only thing that really would have made me love this game more was if there was a New Game Plus feature. That would have made it especially nice. But I look forward to what the sequel has to offer. Comes out in the fall of this year. And I thought when I first heard about it via Angry Joe was that it was going to be an Xbox One exclusive. But from what I've seen on the page, it's also going to be coming out on the 360, which is nice. Because I don't really plan on getting an Xbox One. I might later on down the line. I know they changed their policies and everything and all that, but it really still irked me, and I didn't like the idea of, I don't want to buy your system, especially with all that bullshit that you tried to do that you tried to force down our throats. But yeah, I imagine at some point I'm gonna have to. So, I don't know, we'll see. But Tomb Raider, awesome game. Looking forward to the sequel. I'm not gonna buy it right away because I always prefer to rent first before I buy. So, well, everybody, I hope that you've enjoyed. Those are my final thoughts on Tomb Raider. I might have a few more, but I apologize. My brain is a bit scattered right now because I've just been exhausted. Actually, when I first started playing Tomb Raider, I played it, I think, Saturday night or something like that, and that was the start of my day off for the weekend, and stayed up just about all night till probably like 4 or 5 in the morning playing it and then stayed up even longer the next night to just continue playing it, because I thought I'd almost beaten it several times, and I was just enjoying myself. I mean, I enjoyed a lot of the exploration. Because unlike Uncharted, a lot of the levels that you have are seemingly open world in that you can, just explore the crap out of them. That it's not just, go from point A to point B and you're never going to see this level again. No, you can backtrack and such. It's not a huge amount of backtracking on any other open world game, but from what I understand for the sequel is that there will be a lot more exploration and you'll be going to different locations located all over the world. So that should be pretty interesting. I'm also looking forward to how they might be improving the combat and the weapons and what other new features they might bring in, especially. I also like the fact that Laura is actually wearing a jacket this time. Not just because, she should be covered up, blah, blah, blah. No, there's that. It's just the fact, too, that all throughout the first game she was running around in a tank top and shorts or very tight jeans. And because of all the weather and all the water and ice and snow, and everything that she was running through, you'd have to imagine she'd be suffering from hypothermia all over her damn body. So at least this time she's, dressed for the occasion of actually, traveling to all these different locations and keeping her body warm and secure. So, but whatever. It's a video game. Who cares about realism, really? But if you're kind of going for gritty realism. But anyway, those are my thoughts on Tomb Raider. I look forward to the sequel. I would actually be interested in playing the game again. There's not much reason to go back other than to be able to unlock everything, which you can do. Or to explore other tombs that you haven't found yet and other such things. But, until then, I'll see you guys around. Hope that you've enjoyed. Bye.